first initial action at the Department of Justice, and we are here to serve the petition to a representative from Lynch's staff, or captain. We are happy to be here. We have mothers, we have sisters, we have relatives here, mother here, a sister, individuals that have come from all over to share today and to let the Justice Department know how we feel about the loss of our loved ones. We have to have this acknowledged. This is a genocidal assault, and we need intervention. We need it right now. Every case matters. No longer hashtags. No longer hashtags. All tags matter. All names, all individuals, everyone matters, and that's the purpose of this meeting here right now, to take the onus off of individual cases, high-profile cases, and to put the onus on every individual who has been lost while in police custody. We want a full investigation, and we want the genocidal assault upon Black, brown, and red lives to stop ASAP. So that's our purpose. I'm going to have mothers talk. I'm going to have another individual relative talk from a distance. I just wanted to come up and say a few words and share why you came today.
Yes, I came today because it's very important for all of us to be out here, because we are way beyond the point of enough's enough. I'm tired of meeting beautiful mothers crying tears that people can't even understand or losing their child. And even though I didn't lose a child, I lost my brother. I lost my best friend. I lost the king of my family. I lost something that the system could never give us back. People want to always talk about money. It's never about the income, it's about the outcome. And we're out here now for a different outcome, because enough's enough. And like my sister just said, we are more than hashtags. We are more than hashtags and body bags. We deserve accountability, because at the end of the day, when our loved ones are being brutally murdered out here, there's no justice in that. It's just justice right here, and the people that's fighting for the good cause. So we're out here and we're demanding. We're not asking, we're demanding that they do something about it, because every case matters. Not just the ones that's on a high level that everybody know about, the ones that are unknown. Every case matters, because at the end of the day, all those faces belong to somebody's family that they love. That was somebody's loved one that was brutally murdered and took way before their time, shut down for no reason. That's why we out here. We out here to lift up everybody, not just some people, but everybody. And even the ones that are victimized, that survived their encounters. I know a lot of men and women that are still breathing that survived their encounters. We out there for them too. Enough's enough. That's why we out here. Thank you.
Right. Stay over this way so we can have this in the back. Khalida.
Hi, my name is Khalida Harris. I'm a mother of 8. My knee baby, my number 7 baby, was lost while incarcerated in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hold it up.
He suffered from schizophrenia since he was 16 years old. And he was not able to be put on a mental health unit while incarcerated in Philadelphia. Why? Because he won a lawsuit that he wrote his own self against the facility. And that lawsuit was as a direct result of my son being stabbed while incarcerated with a cellmate who was psychotic, who was refused his medication. And as a direct result of being refused his medication, he told the guards, if you don't give me my medication before the shift changes, somebody's gonna get hurt. Well, that somebody in the cell with him was my son. So my son was able to fight it off until somebody intervened. And because of that, 3 security officers, correctional officers, were fired, and 2 were demoted. They sent him home because they was afraid to keep him there any longer. When they sent my son home, they ended up asking him to come back 2 years later. Now this was a misdemeanor. My son had a breakdown, a schizophrenic breakdown, when it got dark in Philly because he didn't know where to go. So they locked him back up again, and this time they did not put him on a medical ward, refusing him medication.
Wow. Horrible.
okay, sis.
For his schizophrenia. Then they wouldn't let him have visitors as well. They put him in a cell behind the security's desk, isolated from everybody, and said they made a 5-minute round, and then he was dead. So nobody has been held accountable for my son's death. And they tried to say that he hung himself. And my question is, how do you put a mental health patient on an isolated ward behind a guard, a correctional guard? And within 5 minutes, he's found dead, and no one contacted the family, with the exception of another inmate who contacted his family to contact us. And no one would meet with us on this matter. No one has been held accountable for this matter. And we have no closure today as a direct result.
So what do you want to say to the other parents out there that are feeling like that?
I want to say to all the parents who feel the way I feel, that we must stand up strongly, united, against all of the wrongs that are being done to our children who are incarcerated and are in the custody of any correctional facility. Bureau of Prison, state, doesn't matter where they are. They be all over the country, wherever they are. We have to hold our government accountable.
That's right.
I'm a 47-year veteran of the United States of America government. I worked for the United States government from the military all the way up to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I have done it all. I paid my dues. I paid my price. And I want them to give me the service that I gave the constituents of the federal government. Give it back to my family what I gave you.
We have another mother, Mariana. Thank you.
That's right, sis.
Stay right. Yeah. Don't block the soccer.
Yes, hi, my name is Marion Gray Hopkins, and I am the mother and the voice of Gary Hopkins Jr. Gary was murdered at the young age of 19 by Prince George's County police officers Brian Catlett and Devin White. Gary was attending a dance that particular night at a local fire station that was minutes from our home. Gary, just 16 days, we lost his father, my husband, 16 days earlier. Gary was his second-year college student in mass communication major and a business minor. So Gary was not, as they try to profile our children and think that they don't have, they have single family homes. He had both parents in his home. He was in college. He was looking forward to making something of himself. So that particular night, Gary's supervisor on his part-time job that he was working invited him to a dance because he was having such a hard time with the loss of his father. And so Gary got all of his friends to attend the dance with him. Some of his cousins attended the dance that night. And one of Gary's friends got into an altercation with one of the other party goers. And Gary was well beyond his years. I mean, he was a mentor to his own peer group. So Gary broke up the fight and got everyone into their respective cars and was, ready to leave. They had made plans to come back to our home. So Gary, being his joking self, was sitting on the outside ledge of the vehicle, waving everyone on. And he was actually in the midst of winter. It was in November 27th, 1999, sitting on the outside ledge, waving everybody on. And I can just picture Gary, jokingly. And an officer blocks the car that he was in. He was in the lead vehicle. He blocks the vehicle, get out of his car with his weapon already drawn. He puts the gun to Gary's head and pulls Gary off of the car by his collar, and Gary stumbles forward when a second officer, Brian Catlett, comes and makes one fatal gunshot wound to Gary's chest. And so I can't bring Gary back. But I'm out here, and I have been a mother on the front line, grassroots activist since the year 2000, saying enough is enough. We see every 28 hours or less that a person of color is murdered by law enforcement every single day. They have resulted to children. 12-year-old Tamir Rice, the little young girl that was sitting in her grandma's home, murdered. Sandra Bland, murdered just because she didn't put her signal light on. She ends up dead. I mean, this is legalized genocide, folks, that we're dealing with here. And we cannot continue to come here to the Department of Justice. I've been here year after year after year, asking, begging, demanding that there is change made. So I'm here today not only for my son, Gary Hopkins, but I'm here as a voice of all mothers, all family members that can't be here today to say that we've had enough. We are demanding that there is change made. We are demanding that there are laws to be changed, because if there are no changes, these law enforcement officers will continue to kill with impunity.
Yes.
This has to stop. We have had enough. Thank you.
Any other parents? Okay. And then we'll have something from Brandon. You want to say, Darlene? He's got to go. Brandon, the attorney has to go. Okay, go ahead, Brandon.
Well, today is a sad day indeed, and on the other side of it, it's a day that's full of pride and a day that's full of reverence for individuals who are continuing to fulfill their duty as Americans. On a higher level, they're fulfilling their duty as parents. To watch so many mothers and fathers of those who've been slain by police brutality stand up to defend their duty, it does beg the question of why others can't be held accountable to investigate. To have so many questions and so many hurt loved ones without answers draws on our First Amendment, our ability to free speak to the government, to ask them to redress our grievances. Any system that has a flaw, statistically, which shows that minorities or women or any other disadvantaged group is hurt or brutalized, should be investigated. If that comes at the consequence of accountability for police officers or the judicial system, it should be done, because that's how we ensure confidence. That's why we were granted these unalienable rights. And to see mothers continue and fathers continue to uphold their duty to demand that the American government sustain a system to show that it is working in order is a inspirational thing, and any attorney such as myself should be inspired to continue help and lend energy, time, money, and effort to this cause, because without it, our system is corrupt and dysfunctional.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Donnie Kane. I'm the mother and the voice of Dale Graham, who was killed October 28, 2008 in Baltimore City by a Baltimore City police officer. I'm here today to support Time and her daughter, and being united with other mothers and family members that are here today, because we're tired of the same old thing, officers getting away with beating, killing our loved ones. And also, I just want to say that I'm tired of getting phone calls and being on Facebook seeing more people, loved ones, the same thing is happening to them, and they have the same excuses, the same stories, just keep taking up for each other. And I'm here for us to get change, because we want accountability. We're going to get it, and I believe it, because we're strong warriors right now, and there's more warriors out there. And I'm asking other mothers to come and stand up and join us and come from, behind their walls, because together we can do this. United we stand. Thank you.
And in closing, I would just like to say that I think it was in 2005, I took 25 black women on Capitol Hill. Some of them had lilies, and they lay down on the ground with the lilies up about their children who were killed to gun violence. And a few more of us went inside, and we went to as many congressmen's offices as we possibly could and demanded a forensics lab here in the District of Columbia. So we went from $0 to $250 million, and now we have the state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind crime forensics lab here in the District of Columbia that's been used by the FBI, CIA, and everybody else. We can do this. All you need is a few. Just start. We're planting the seed today. We can do this. Now, it's our understanding that Attorney General, U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch is on a short list to become maybe a nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court. So we want to let her know before she goes anywhere else, she's got to straighten out this mess. And that's what we're saying. So we're not stopping. We're going to continue our petition, our overall petition, and then each one of us should start our own petitions and blogs so that we can get the message out that enough is enough and we demand justice. We'd like to thank all of you that came today and to say that we're coming back. 12,000 petition signatures today will be handed in, and that we would like to also thank people demanding action and your blog as well.
Daily Coast.
The Daily Coast blog for helping us, and that there's more to come. And just stay tuned. We're coming back. Thank you. You want one more? You want to close? Say something in closing?
To Wanda,
Okay,
and
come
then
on,
I'm
Swan.
going to close. Robert?
So, I'm sorry, I got overwhelmed by what was going on, because I hate being at things like this, because it's so sad. It's not a good feeling coming out here and seeing pain. And I got so caught up, I didn't even tell everybody about my brother Tyrone West. Well, my brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013. Brutally beat to death by more men and women than us standing out here. 15 to 20 police officers, armed police officers, beat one unarmed man to death. Brutally beat him, kicked him, stomped him, maced him, tased him to death. They hit his body. You're wasting time. Until it happens to one of your loved ones, you're wasting time.
Okay.
No, that's the fool. I'm sorry, but that's the foolishness. This is why we are here, because of ignorance. You have people that walk past and say foolishness, but until it happens to them, they can never imagine our pain. And normally I don't entertain foolishness, but I'll be done if I'm going to let anybody disrespect us. They're not going to disrespect our pain, because none of us asked for any of this pain. Nobody wanted to be on this side. And for the simple fact, they hid my brother's body for 5 days. They wouldn't even let the funeral home examine his body. And then they want us to, when it took them 154 days to tell my family some foolishness that my brother died of a heart attack and dehydration. Are you kidding me? When witnesses, credible eyewitnesses said my brother was beat worse than Rodney King, beat from one side of the street to the other side. Until this day, 960 plus days, going on 137 weeks as of tomorrow, we've been fighting for justice. Still no autopsy pictures. Why? Because we know what those autopsy pictures will show. Why? No video. Because we know the videos that the eyewitnesses took will show my brother getting the life beat out of him. And the same outrage and everybody feeling about Eric Gardner and Freddie Gray, they will feel about seeing my brother get brutally beat down and screaming last words, Trayvon Martin, help. And the saddest part, and I'm going to close on this all could have been prevented. Because 17 days before my brother was brutally slain, murdered, the same exact two killer cops, Nicholas Davis Chapman and Killer Ruiz, they almost killed the man in the same neighborhood 17 days with his baby held hostage in the backseat of his car in his driveway. And he fought for justice. He went and filed all types of complaints and everything. No one listened to him. No one listened. What they do, they let these killer cops back on the street to come kill one unarmed man. Until this day, all 11 to 15 police officers are walking the beat. But the difference this time, you killed the wrong man, but you got the right family. Because not only am I walking the beat with you, all of my supporters and all the family members are walking the beat with you killer cops. We will not stop until killer cops are in cell blocks. We want accountability, because if we go and kill anybody the way any of our loved ones have been brutally murdered, we would have been put away and never to be seen again. That is accountability. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you.
I want to close out with this. Robert, would you say a few words for us?
Come on.
Come on, Robert.
So the main thing that I can just add for this is you're hearing the pain and you're hearing what different family members of victims are saying. What we're asking, what we've been asking from the Department of Justice is to step up, and when it comes to violence being committed by police officers, from correction officers, we're wanting the Justice Department to act on this with the same speed, with the same enthusiasm that you went after the Ku Klux Klan when you broke that up. We're asking for them the same way that you went after organized crime, to use your powers to break that up. The same way, the main reason that segregation was ended is because you used your power of interstate commerce to break up and end segregation. What we're asking you for is uniform reporting so that you can, one, see what's happening. What a police department does in North Carolina gets reported totally different from what a police department gets reported in California. There's got to be unified reporting. We've got to have oversight. That right now there isn't maybe but one police accountability review board in the entire country that has subpoena power, investigatory power, that has the ability to overturn and discipline a police officer. The only way that that's going to happen is if you mandate it. You know, so the only thing that you're hearing from these families is not an appeal for you to do anything outside of your reach. It's for you to actively use the powers that you have to unify all of these different disciplinary actions and all of these different codes, and to weigh down on these police departments and make sure that they're being held accountable, being transparent, and that there's real oversight. And if there's not, you're going to go after them with the same force that you went after everybody else. In the past few months, I've heard more from the Department of Justice saying that they're going to regulate and end gambling for fantasy football than I've heard them say that they're going to use to fix police brutality. And that's something that I hope you'll think about. Thanks.
All right. So it's time for us to deliver the. Oh, okay. It's
We're
time.
delivering.
Okay, we're delivering.
We're delivering the
Mr.
petition.
Mr. Gallagher. Okay, Mr. Gallagher.
Delivering the petition.
Okay, Mr. Gallagher. Just accept. Oh, well, who's
We
gonna?
have a member coming out to
They
accept
haven't
it,
come
okay?
down. They haven't come down.
I've called them, appreciate your patience.
Okay,
but,
they're coming. So we're
yes,
still
they
in
are
process.
coming.
Okay.